Good morning, children. Welcome back to science class. We already completed physics and chemistry. Now we are in biology. In that biology, we are studying plant anatomy and plant physiology. We already discussed plant physiology. Now we are going to discuss the remaining thing, plant anatomy. Let's recollect the things. In our last class, we studied about the structure of plant and then the tissue system. It is a physical appearance of the plant. Then here it is a inner part, that is anatomy of a plant. In our last class we studied tissue system in plants. How many tissue systems are there in plants? Yes, we have three types of tissue systems in plant. The first one is dermal tissue system. Dermal tissue system is nothing but of the outer layer of the plant, that is it's like a skin in the plant. Next, ground tissue system. It is helping the growth of the root and then it is upholding a plant right. Next, vascular tissue system. In this vascular tissue system, we have a xylem and phloem. These two are helping for the transportation of water and food to the plant. And then it is also helping the process of photosynthesis for the preparation of food in plants. Next, we studied internal structure of dicot root system and internal structure of monocot root system. Last class, we discussed the monocot and dicot root system. Now, we are going to see what is the difference between the dicot and monocot root. All the parts are same, but some changes only there in the inner part. First, pericycle. In the dicot root system, it gives a lateral roots. Lateral roots means when the root has grown, after some time it is again giving a growth of new roots. Phylogen and a part of vascular cambium. So, these are the two parts helping for the growth of lateral roots. Next, give rise to lateral roots only. So, it is rising only lateral roots, but it is not giving the phylogen and then vascular cambium. Next, vascular tissue. Vascular tissue is nothing but of xylem and phloem present inside it. In the dicot root system, usually a limited number of xylem and phloem strips. Here, in this, we have a limited number of xylem and phloem strips. But in the case of monocot root, usually more number of xylem and phloem strips are present. So, in the vascular bundle is more in monocot but less in dicot. Next, conjunctive tissue. Conjunctive means connecting. In dicot system, parenchymatous, it's a cell are differentiated into vascular cambium. Yes, it has a parenchymatous cell. But in monocot root system, mostly sclerenchymatous, but sometimes parenchymatous, it is never differentiated into vascular cambium. Here both the cells are present. First one is sclerenchymatous cell and then parenchymatous cell. It has been differentiated in the vascular cambium. Next, cambium. What is cambium? It appears as a secondary meristem at the time of secondary growth. Yes, it is acting as a one more stem, meristem, for the secondary growth. When the plant first, the beginning growth is happening, after some time, the second growth is happening. That time, these meristem helping for the secondary growth. It is altogether absent. So here we don't have a meristem for the secondary growth. Only the first growth itself it is growing. Second time it is not having a meristem. Xylem. Usually tetrarch. Tetrarch means it's a three layer. In a monocot, usually it's a polyarch. Poly means many number of these xylem strips are present in the monocot system. These are the difference between the monocot and dicot root system. See, all the parts are same, but difference between the growth as well as the cells present inside the dicot and monocot root system. Internal structure of dicot stem. In the dicot stem, we are going to discuss about sunflower. Sunflower is an example for dicot stem. Here, the transverse section of a dicot stem reveals the following structure. Transverse means the vertical cutting of the stem. The first one part is epidermis. It is the outermost layer. It is made up of single layer of parenchyma cells. Its outer wall is covered with cuticle. It is protective in function. Yes, outermost layer. In this stem, the outermost layer name is epidermis. It is made up of a single layer of parenchyma cells. Its outer wall is covered with cuticle. We already studied in the last class what is cuticle. It is a small pores present outside of the plant. It is helping for the evaporation of water in the plant. It is a protective in function. So the epidermis is protecting the stem. Next, cortex. It is divided into three regions. These cortex, it is a next layer of epidermis. It has been divided into three regions. First one is hypodermis. It consists of 3 to 6 layer of collenchyma cells. Yes. First one is epidermis. It is a single layer of parenchyma cell. Here hypodermis. It consists of 3 to 6 layer of collenchyma cells. It gives mechanical support. A structure, enlarged ground plant, root hair, xylem, phloem, cortex, filiferous layer, pericycle and Casparian strip. In this hypodermis, it is enlarging extending the growth of the stem. That is ground plant, that is root system. In the root only we have xylem and phloem, cortex, filiferous layer, one more layer of cortex, and then pericycle, Casparian strip. So what are the functions of these parts we can study. Phloem, endodermis, root hair, filiferous layer and cortex xylem. Here xylem, phloem, we have two transpiration organs, phloem endodermis, root hair, filiferous layer as well as cortex xylem. So these are the parts present inside the cortex, that is hypodermis. Middle cortex. It is made up of few layers of chlorenchyma cells. It is involved in photosynthesis due to the presence of chloroplast. These middle cortex helping for the process of photosynthesis. In that, chlorenchyma cells are present in the layer. It is helping for the photosynthesis when the chloroplast is present. Chloroplast is nothing but of, it is also a part of chlorophyll. We already know chlorophyll is a color pigment, green color pigment helping for the photosynthesis. So inside the chlorophyll only we have a chloroplast. Next, inner cortex. It is made up of few layer of parenchyma cell. It helps in gaseous exchange and store food material. Yes, in the plant, the leaves we have a stomata. The main function of stomata, the transpiration of water and gas for the exchange of food materials. Through this only the photosynthesis is taking place. Next, endodermis is the innermost layer of the cortex. It consists of a single layer of barrel-shaped cell. These cells contain starch grains, so it is called a starch sheath. Yes, it is storing a food. When the time the photosynthesis is not taking place, the starch present inside these endodermis it helping for the conducting food to the other parts of the plant. That's why we are saying it is a starch sheath. Next, stele. The central part of the stem, inner to endodermis, is known as stele, the center part of the stem. It consists of pericycle, vascular bundle, and pith. So the center part of the stem we are saying as a stele. It consists of pericycle, vascular bundle, and pith. Pericycle, it occurs, it is present inside the vascular bundle and endodermis. It is multi-layered. Many layers of pericycle is present. It has been made parenchymatous cell with alternating patches of sclerenchyma. So both the cells are present in the pericycle. Next, vascular bundle. Vascular bundles are conjoined, collateral, endarc and open. They are having a connection between xylem and phloem, collateral combining, and then open vascular bundles. They are arranged in the form of a ring around the pith. Yes, they are arranged in a ring like a structure. Xylem and phloems are arranged in this vascular bundle. Next, pith. The large central parenchymatous zone with intercellular spaces is called pith. So in last class also we studied the internal structure of root. Like this, these pith they are forming a circle like a structure, and then the spaces inside present is this is we can say it as a pith. It helps in the storage of food materials. Yes, inside we have a space. In that space only these pith is storing a food materials. Here is the structure of transverse section of dicot stem. We have a parts. The first one is epidermis air, that is the outer layer of this stem. Air is present. Then hypodermis, the second layer of epidermis is hypodermis. The next layer we have a cortex. Again we have a inner endodermis. Next vascular bundle, pith. Last slide only we studied pith. We have a circular shape. Inside we have a space. In that space only it is storing a food. So this is a outer structure. We can easily see through when cut the stem, but the inner parts only visible through the microscope. In this microscope we have a transverse section. First the layer epidermis air. After that we have a cuticle. What is the function of cuticle? We already know it is helping for the evaporating of water present in the plant. Next, epidermis. Epidermis is the next layer of this cuticle, and then it is made with the parenchymatous cell. Next, collenchyma. Collenchyma cells. Next, again we have a parenchyma cells. Then our next part is these grey color parts, endodermis. After this endodermis we have a phloem cambium. These blue color parts, phloem. Next, these yellow color. After the blue color we have a cambium. Next, these strip like a structure. The circle structures one by one is arranged like a strip. This one we can say it as a xylem. After that we have a empty spaces called pith. The function of pith is storing of food. This is the structure of transverse section of dicot system. Here we have taken example of sunflower stem. Now we are going to discuss internal structure of monocot stem. A transverse section of monocot stem reveals the following structure. So these are the following structures on monocot stem. First, epidermis. We already know it is the outermost layer. It is made up of single layer of parenchyma cells. It is covered with thick cuticle. Multicellular hairs are absent and stomata are also less in number. Here Epidermis is the outer layer, we already know. It has a single layer of parenchyma cell, and then it is thick cuticle is present. In that dicot stem, cuticle is present, but here thick cuticle is present. Multicellular hairs are absent. But in the case of dicot stem, it has a multicellular hair, but here the multicellular hair is absent. And stomatos also very less in numbers. What is the function of stomato? For the time of photosynthesis, it is transporting water and air. Next, hypodermis. It is made up of a few layers of sclerenchyma cells interrupted by the chlorenchyma. So it is made up of sclerenchyma as well as chlorenchyma. Sclerenchyma provides mechanical support to plant. What is mechanical support? Mechanical support means for the transpiration of food, as well as it is helping to plant retain a stability for heavy wind as well as a summertime. The mechanical support. Next, ground tissue. The entire mass of a parenchyma cells next to hypodermis. So these ground tissue is present. It a parenchymatous cell. It is present next in the hypodermis. This next to hypodermis, the ground tissue is present. This ground tissue system extend into center. It is not differentiated into endodermis, cortex, pericycle and pith in like a dicot stem. Then we have a vascular bundle. In these vascular bundles are skull shaped and scattered in the ground tissue. So ground tissue is fixed at the center. In that we have a vascular bundles are skull shaped. Vascular bundles are conjoined, collateral, endark and closed. Each vascular bundle is surrounded by few layers of sclerenchyma cells called bundle sheath. Here sclerenchyma cells are fixed in the layers, few layers. This is called a bundle sheath. Next, xylem. It consists of metaxylem and protoxylem. It has two types, metaxylem as well as protoxylem. Xylem vessels are arranged in V or Y shape in mature vascular bundle. The lowermost protoxylem disintegrates and form a cavity. This is called protoxylem lacuna. Yes, here we have two types of xylem, metaxylem and protoxylem. These xylems are arranged either V shape or Y shape in a mature vascular bundle. That is when the plant is grown, when it is attained a maturity, the vascular bundles are present, Y or V shape. The lowermost protoxylem disintegrated and form a cavity. So it is combined with this metaxylem and then it gives a space. Cavity means it's nothing but of we have a duct inside this xylem. This is called a protoxylem lacuna. Next, phloem. It consists of a sieve tube elements and companion cells. Phloem parenchyma and phloem fibers are absent. It is like a tube like a structure. Its elements and companion cells. So these elements and then components are combining together. They are forming a tube like a structure. In that phloem parenchyma and phloem fibers are absent. Only phloem is present. The branches of phloems are absent. Pith. Pith is not differentiated in monocot stems. But in the dicot stem, pith is differentiated. In pith only we have a space inside it. In a dicot system, pith is acting as a storage of food. Here monocot system, pith is absent. Here we have a structure of transverse section of monocot stem. It is a stem cutting part. We have epidermis, hypodermis, ground tissue and vascular bundles. So in the microscopic view we have a cuticle. So again and again I am saying the function of cuticle is the evaporating of water, extra water present in the plant. Epidermis, we obviously know it's the outer layer of the plant. Hypodermis is fixed inside the epidermis. Next, chlorenchyma cells. Then vascular bundle. See here we have a different vascular bundles. Then below the vascular bundle we have a center portion, ground tissue. Next, in this vascular bundle, the upper one, the brown color cells, you can say crushed protophorum. Then the blue colors, we can say metaploium. Then this pink color high like a structure, it's a metaxylem. Then below that we have a protoxylem. Next we have a duct, that small holes like a structure, it's a protoxylem lacuna. Then the last one, sclerenchymatous bundle sheath. Last we studied, no, it is make a bundle sheath. So this is the structure of monocot stem. In monocot stem, we can take an example of maize stem. A difference between dicot and monocot stem. Hypodermis. In a dicot stem, it is made by colon-chymatous cell, but in the case of monocot stem, the hypodermis was made by sclerenchymatous cell. Ground tissue. Ground tissue is differentiated into cortex, endodermis, and pericycle and within the dicot system. But in monocot system, it has been not differentiated, but it is a continuous mass of parenchyma cell. It is a parenchyma cell, no separate parts of cortex, endodermis, pericycle and pith. Next, starch sheath. It is only present in dicot stem. Starch it for the preservation of food, but here we don't have a monocot stem. Medullary rays is present. Here is a absent. It is present in the center of the cell. Vascular bundle is nothing but of xylem and phloem. Collateral and open. Here we have a open structure of vascular bundle, but in the case of monocot stem, collateral and closed. These vascular bundles arranged in a ring form in a dicot system, but monocot system, it is scattered in ground tissue. Here and there it was scattered in the ground tissue. Ground tissue was fixed in the center of the stem. Next, secondary growth occurs. In the dicot stem, secondary growth is possible, but in the case of monocot stem, secondary growth usually does not occur. Secondary growth will not happen. So these are the difference between monocot and dicot stem. Now we are going to discuss the internal structure of dicot leaf. The dicot, we can say it as otherwise dorsiventral leaf. Here we are going to discuss mango leaf. First, upper epidermis. So all the parts we have a epidermis is a outer layer. This is the outermost layer made up of a single layered parenchymatous cells without intercellular space. Here it is made by parenchymatous cell, but we don't have a intercellular space between the cells. The outer wall of the cells are cuticularized. Stomata are less in number. Here stomatas are very less in number. So the outer walls of the cells are cuticularized. Cuticularized means they are arranged in such a way, and then they are not extending their limit. So in that space itself it is occupying because it doesn't have any intercellular space, so it is cuticularized. Next, lower epidermis. It is a single layer of parenchymatous cells with a thin cuticle. The cuticle is very thin here. It contains numerous stomata. So numerous means many number of stomata is present in the lower epidermis. Chloroplast are present only in a God cell. So here chloroplast is present in a God cell. The lower epidermis helps in the exchange of gases. The loss of water vapor is facilitated through this chamber. Yes, it is helping for the exchange of gases, and then the lot of water vapors are facilitated. So the transportation of water vapors by the time of photosynthesis has been taking place in this lower epidermis. Next, mesophile. The tissue present between the upper and lower epidermis is called mesophile. So these cells are present between the upper and lower epidermis. It is differentiated into palisade parenchyma and spongy parenchyma. So it has been differentiated into two types of parenchyma cells. One is palisade parenchyma and another one is Spongies parenchyma. What is palisade parenchyma? It is found just below the upper epidermis. Yes, the cells are elongated. Elongated means it has been stretched. These cells have more number of chloroplasts. Chloroplast is nothing but of it is present inside the chlorophyll. It is also green colored for helping a photosynthesis. The cells do not have intercellular space and they take part in photosynthesis. Yes, here it is fixed below the upper epidermis. These are have more chloroplasts. These is shells are elongated. It has stretched and then it is taking part in the photosynthesis. They do not have a intercellular space. Next, spongy parenchyma. What is spongy parenchyma? It is found below the palisade parenchyma. So below these palisade parenchyma, these spongy parenchymas are fixed in this tissue. Cells are almost spherical or oval and are irregularly arranged. Here the shape may be a oval or spherical, but they are arranged in a irregular way. Cells have intercellular spaces. It helps in gaseous exchange. Here they don't have any fixed shape and then irregularly arranged. So obviously it has a space between the cells and then for the transportation of gas, it is helping for the time of photosynthesis. Vascular bundle of midrib is larger. Vascular bundles are conjoined. Here, vascular bundle, it is fixed in the middle of the rib. It is very larger. Collateral and closed. Each vascular bundle is surrounded by a sheath of parenchymatous cells. So, it is covered with the parenchymatous cells. Bundle sheath. Each vascular bundle consists of xylem lying towards the upper epidermis and phloem towards the lower epidermis. So, in upper epidermis we have a xylem and lower epidermis we have a phloem. Here we have a structure of dicot leaf. See the first one we have a cuticle. This is upper epidermis and then lower epidermis. Inside we have a palisade, but these small strips is a palisade parenchyma. And then here inside the circle we have a pink color ring. It is xylem. Then below that we have a blue color structure, blue color small rocky structure. We have a phloem. Below that we have a bundle sheath. Then we have a stomato here. Then this is epidermal layer. Finally we have a lower epidermis. Next, internal structure of monocot or isobilateral leaf. Here we have a structure epidermis. Monocot leaf as upper and lower epidermis is made up of parenchyma cells. So both the layers are made up of parenchyma cells. Cuticle is present on the outer wall of stomata are present on both upper and lower epidermis. So the cuticle is present in the outer wall of stomato. It is present in the both upper and lower epidermis. Some cells of upper epidermis are large and thin walled. They are known as bulliform cells. Here some of the cells of upper epidermis are large in size and they have a thin wall. So we can know it as a bulliform cells. So it has some difference between the lower epidermis. So we can say it as a bulliform cells. Mesophyll. It is the ground tissue that is present between both the epidermal layers. Yes, it is present between upper epidermis and lower epidermis. It is not differentiated into palisade and spongy parenchyma, but in the dicot leaf, it was differentiated into two types of cell. The cells are irregularly arranged with the intercellular spaces. These cells contain chloroplast. They don't have any particular shape, so it has the intercellular space as well as these cells are contain chloroplast. Chloroplast is nothing but of it is also a green colored cell present inside the chlorophyll. Next, vascular bundles. Large number of vascular bundles are present, some of which are small and some are large. So the shapes are large and small. Each vascular bundle is surrounded by a parenchymatous bundle sheath. So here it is made up of parenchymatous cells. We can say it as a bundle sheath. Vascular bundles are conjoined, collateral and closed. Xylem is present towards upper epidermis and phloem towards lower epidermis. Here, xylem is present in upper epidermis and phloem lower epidermis it is present. Here we have a transverse section of monocot leaf. Cuticle is present and then the green color is bulliform cells. Then upper epidermis. Here is a lower epidermis. See that in this gap we have a stomata. This irregular shaped cells mesophile. Then this is the pink color round like a structure is bundle sheath. Inside we have a xylem. The round like a cells and then below that we have a phloem cells. These are the inner structure of monocot leaf. We have a differences in the shape between a monocot leaf and a dicot leaf. A difference between monocot and dicot leaf. So what are the differences? Dicot leaf we can say it as a dorsiventral leaf. Monocot leaf is a isobilateral leaf. Next, in this dicot leaf, mesophile is differentiated into palisade and spongy parenchyma. Yes, these mesophile has been differentiated into two types of parenchyma cell, palisade and spongy parenchyma. But in a monocot leaf, mesophile is not differentiated into palisade and spongy parenchyma. These are the two differences we have in monocot and dicot leaf. Now we are in the topic plastid. It is also a parts of a plant. Plastids are double membranes bound organelles found in plants and some algae. They are responsible for preparation and storage of food. Obviously, preparation and storage of food. Preparation of food, we already know the process of photosynthesis. So these chloroplastids are green in color. It is present in some of the algae also. We have a three types of plastid. Chloroplast, that is green colored plastids, chromoplast, yellow, red, orange colored plastic, leucoplast, colorless plastic. So some of the plant also the leaf has been different color. Many plants have green in color, but some of them have different colors: yellow, red, orange, and leucoplast is a colorless plastids. So depends upon these plastids only. The leaf gets a different color. So based on the plastid's color only resembles in the leaf. First, structure of chloroplast. Chloroplast or green plastids containing green pigment called chlorophyll. Yes, chloroplast are containing a green color pigment called chlorophyll. We already studied in the smaller class itself. Chlorophyll is helping for the photosynthesis. Chloroplasts are oval shaped organelles having a diameter of 2 to 10 micrometer and a thickness of 1 to 2 micrometer. So we can see through only microscope. See, it's a oval structure having a diameter of 2 to 10 micrometer and then the thickness of these wall is 1 to 2 micrometer. This is the structure of chloroplast. It is a one of the plastid. It gives green color to the leaf. Here we have a structure of chloroplast. First, envelope. Envelope means you already know outer layer. Chloroplast enveloped as outer and inner membranes, which is separated by intermembrane space. So this is the intermembrane space. It has been separated, envelope, and then that is outer layer and then inner layer. Stroma. Stroma. This is stroma. It is matrix present inside. In the membranes is called stroma. It's like a matrix structure. Matrix is studied in the mathematics 2 into 3 rows, columns like that. These stroma is present inside the chloroplast. It contains DNA, 70S ribosomes and other molecules required for the protein synthesis. Yes. These stroma is containing DNA and then ribosomes for the synthesis of protein. It is helping for the growth of plant. Next, thylakoids. Thylakoid is present here, the upper of the stroma. Above the stroma we have a thylakoids. These thylakoids contains membranes that encloses thylakoid lumen. Thylakoids form a stalk of disc-like a structure called a grain in a singular granum. So it's like forming a disc-like a structure, like a oval shape. Oval shape has been cutted like a semicircle. It is forming. So we can say it as a disc-like a structure. Otherwise, we can call it this one as a grana. That is one singular thylakoid spaces. We can say it as a singular granum. This is the structure of chloroplast. Chloroplast is nothing but of the colorful pigment to giving the color of the leaf. Grana. Some of the thylakoids are arranged in the form of disc stacked one above the other. These stacks are termed as a grana. They are interconnected to each other by membranes, lamellae called Fred channels. So these inside the thylakoid, see here it has been arranged in a half disc like a structure. So they are interconnected to each other by a membrane. So we can call it as a Fred channels. Next, what are the functions of chloroplast? The main function of chloroplast is photosynthesis for the preparation of food, storage of starch, synthesis of fatty acids, storage of lipids, formation of chloroplast. So here the formation of chloroplast, and then it is storing a fatty acid and starch inside the center part of the stem, as well as formation of chloroplast. Chloroplast is nothing but it is a green color pigment in the type of chlorophyll. It contains green color. For the formation of this also, the chloroplast itself, the reaction taking place. Here is your assignment. What is collateral vascular bundle? Write a short note on mesophile. Differentiate monocot root and dicot root. Differentiate monocot stem and dicot stem. Then cortex lies between dash. Do your assignments regularly. Send it through GCR. Sit and study whatever the videos you are receiving. You have plenty of times to prepare. So don't waste your time. Thank you, students. Have a nice day.